There's a special kind of fear that comes from being seen, not just looked at, seen. Every flaw, every insecurity, every mask we forget to take off. In Perfect Blue, Mima says, "Who are you? The real Mima." That's the horror. When your reflection starts performing without you. Mima starts as a pop idol, bright, smiling, performing perfection. But when she leaves that world, she realizes her image isn't hers anymore. Everyone has a version of her, online, on screen, in their imagination. And soon, those versions starts to fight for control. It's terrifying, not because it's unreal, but because it's too real. Mima was supposed to be perfect. Bright smile, clean image, flawless idol. But perfection is a kind of prison, a cage built by the gaze of others. The philosopher Jean-Paul Sartre once said, "Hell is other people." He didn't mean people are evil. He meant that being seen, being defined, can trap us. And that's exactly what Mima lives through. Her fans create an online version of her, innocent, ideal, unchanging. Soon, that version becomes louder than her own voice.
Excuse me, who are you?
Perfect Blue came out long before social media, but it saw this world coming, where everyone performs and no one remembers who they are when the applause stops. I have spent years on stage, and the stage is honest. It doesn't let you hide from yourself. The writer, Rainer Maria Rilke said, "The only journey is the one within." But for a performer, that journey can turn into a maze. When the curtain falls, who are you? The character or the person who played them? That's Mima's nightmare. In Perfect Blue, the performance never ends. The audience never leaves. Even when she's alone, she feels watched by her fans, by her manager, by herself. Every gaze becomes a mirror. Every mirror becomes a prison. Perfect Blue isn't horror because of blood. It's horror because it shows us something terrifying familiar. The fear that we might only exist in other people's eyes. The psychologist Carl Jung once said, "The most terrifying thing is to accept oneself completely." But how do you accept yourself when everyone around you keeps rewriting who you are? Mima's stalker doesn't just invade her life, he represents the gaze that defines her, the audience's gaze, our gaze. The real villain isn't him, it's visibility itself. The idea that being watched gives you worth. What's real? That question haunts every frame of Perfect Blue. The film blurs dreams and reality until you can't tell the difference. Just like fame blurs truth and performance. Mima's breakdown isn't madness, it's identity collapse. The moment when your inner voice stops belonging to you. As the poet Sylvia Plath wrote, "I took a deep breath and listened to the old brag of my heart. I am, I am, I am." But what if you can't hear that voice anymore? The scariest part of Mima's story isn't that others can't tell who she is. It's that she can't either. Maybe that's the price of perfection. To be loved by everyone except yourself. Perfect Blue doesn't end with clarity because life rarely does. It leaves us with a question instead. When everyone is watching you, can you still see yourself? The writer Oscar Wilde once said, "Give a man a mask and he will tell you the truth." Maybe that's what Mima was doing all along, trying to find truth beneath all the masks. Maybe the horror isn't being seen. Maybe it's being seen only for who we pretend to be. And maybe the only way to be free is to stop performing long enough to remember who you are when the camera stops rolling.
No, I'm the real thing.
This is the quiet frame where we explore the stories that watch us back. If Perfect Blue made you question who you are behind the mask, share your thoughts below because sometimes being seen starts with seeing yourself.